Hey y'all, so last week we talked about finding the greatest common factor of two or more numbers. This week we are still using the ladder method that we used to find the greatest common factor, but this time we're going to find the least common multiple, or the LCM. So before I get started, some of the vocabulary that we added to this week was multiple, which is a product of a given whole number and any other whole number. So the multiple would be the answer to the two factors that you've multiplied. Common multiple, any common multiple of two or more numbers. And then least common multiple, and that again, this is what we're finding, is the smallest common multiple of a set of two or more numbers. So this is the smallest number that we can get when these two numbers in the ladder rung are multiplied. Well, like whenever they're multiplied by something. So this one, you're going to work this out just as if you're finding the GCF, but what we do after we factored it out is going to be different. So let's get started. This first one is 27 and 36. Now, remember, one of the tricks was if it's even, we can automatically divide by 2. Unfortunately, both of the numbers are not even, so I can't divide by 2. So I'm going to go to the side, and I'm going to make, I'm going to make a fact table so I can figure out a factor to put on the outside. So I know the numbers that can be multiplied together to give me 27 is 1 and 27 and 3 and 9. And that's it. So now I'm going to do 36. I have 1, 36, 2 and 18, 3, 12, 4 and 9. And that's it for 36. So now, I'm going to circle the factors that they have in common. So I see that they have a 3 in common, and they have a 9 in common. So you've probably already realized it's probably better to just start with the larger number already, so we don't have to do a lot of work in the ladder rung. So I'm just going to go ahead and put 9 on the outside because that is the largest factor that they have in common, so we'll have less work to do. So I'm going to put 9 on the outside, and then remember, I need to divide both numbers on the inside by 9. So 27 divided by 9 is 3, and then 36 divided by 9 is 4. Now remember, with finding the GCF, we stop when we have a prime number in the bottom of our ladder. 3 is a prime number, so we can't factor out anymore because 3 and 4 no longer have any factors in common besides 1. So now, this is where we find the LCM. So we've done factoring it out. How we find the LCM is we take all of the numbers that would be on the outside. In the bottom row of the ladder rung, we make like an L for LCM, and then multiply all 3 of the numbers. So I have 9 times 3 times 4. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 times 4 equals, I'm not really sure, so I'm going to go to the side. Do 27 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28. Put my 8, carry my 2. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. So the least common multiple between 27 and 36 is 108. So again, we are using the same ladder method that we did with find the GCF, but this time our final step is different to find the LCM. We're going to do it again for 54 and 60. So 54 and 60, they are both even numbers. So I know I can automatically divide by 2. So I'm going to put 2 on the outside. Now, I don't know 54 divided by 2 at the top of my head. So I'm going to go to the side and work it out. 54 divided by 2. 2 can go into 5 twice. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract. 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring down that 4. 2 can go into 14 7 times. 7 times 2 is 14. Subtract. They get 0. So 27 is going to go underneath 54 because that's what I got when I did 54 divided by 2. I do, however, know 60 divided by 2, and that's 30. So now I have 27 and 30. Now we're in the same predicament like we were in the last problem. Both of these factors, or not factors, both of these numbers are not even. So I can't just divide by 2, and they both don't end in 0, and one of them doesn't end in 5. So I can't use any of those tricks. This is the type of situation where I have to do another factor table. So I'm going to do 27 and 30 and list all of the factors. Well, luckily for me, I did 27 on that side, so I'm going to work smarter, not harder, and I'm just going to use the same facts on that table. So 27 has 1 and 27, 3 and 9. 30, I know I can do 1 times 30. That's supposed to be a 3. I can do 2 times 15. I can do 3 times 10. And I can do 5 times 6. And I think that's it for 30. I'm assuming. So now, just like how we did on the other side, I am going to circle all of the factors that they have in common besides the number 1. I see they have a 3, and I think it's just 3. So the factor that they have, that 27 and 30 have in common is 3. So I'm going to write 3 on the outside. And then I'm going to divide 27 and 30 by 3 to complete out my factoring. So 27 divided by 3 is 9, and then 30 divided by 3 is 10. Now, even though 9 and 10 are not prime numbers, they do not share a factor in common. The only factors that can make up 9 is 1 times 9 and 3 times 3. And the only factors that can make up 10 are 1 times 10 and 2 times 5. So I am done factoring out. Now it's time for me to find my least common multiple. So remember, with the LCM, we're trying to find the smallest number that 54 and 60 have in common when they're multiplied by another number. So to do that, I'm going to basically just create an L around the side of the ladder rung and using the last row. We only use the last row. So now remember, everything in that L I need to multiply. So I have 2 times 3 times 9 times 10. 2 times 3 is 6. 9 times 10 is 90. I don't know what 6 times 90 is at the top of my head, so I'm going to go to the side. 0 times 6 is 0. 9 times 6 is, hold on, is it 54? I think it's 54. Because 9 times 5 is 4. Yeah, okay. 54. So our answer is 540. And if it's not 54, please let me know. But I really do think it's 54. Okay. All right. We have these next two that we're going to do. Same exact way, nothing's changed. All right, so now we have 32 and 40. We have another set of two even numbers. So what is a factor that they automatically have in common, you guys? 2. That's right. They all have 2 in common. So I'm going to write 2 on the outside and then go ahead and divide. 32 divided by 2, I know that one at the top of my head, is 16. 40 divided by 2 is 20. So now I have 16 and 20. Now if you want, you can keep going by 2, but because I'm running out of space and I don't want this video to be super long again, I already know just by looking at 16 and 20 that they have 4 in common. And if you didn't know that, you could always just set up a factor table and figure that out. I would suggest making a factor table whenever you kind of get towards the end of the ladder run and you are still multiplying by 2. I would use a factor table just so you don't have to keep going by 2, so you can find the largest common factor between whatever the numbers are. But I know that 16 and 20 have 4 in common. So I'm going to put 4 underneath here. 16 divided by 4 is 4. And 20 divided by 4 is 5. 4 and 5 do not share any factors in common besides the number 1. So we are done factoring out 32 and 40. But now we have to find our least common multiple. So just like how I've been doing, I'm going to create my L. And then I'm going to multiply. So I have 2 times 4 times 4 times 5. 2 times 4 is 8. And 4 times 5 is 20. Over here on the side, I'm going to do 20 times 8. 0 times 8 is 0. 2 times 8 is 16. So our least common multiple is 160. All right, last part of this section. And I think, yes, I made this particular page shorter than last week's. So there's only 6 problems on the front. So we're going to do this last one, then we have 2 more, and then we have 2 word problems, and then we are done. Well, at least I'm done because you have some independent practice to do. But y'all won't have to listen to me much